not. It's not on.
It's on.
Where are y'all people at?
I don't know, man.
How they just walked over here and didn't come sit down?
Can I grab this? Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second celebration of Kwanzaa.
It's nice to meet y'all guys here today. Oh,
Wah, wah, wah.
No, it's on. You just talking so low. Say something?
hello.
Did you
It's
turn
not
it off?
on.
It's on. Oh, jeez. Check. You gotta talk louder. Use your big girl voice.
Hello, guys. Welcome to Eternal Seas. Today, guys, we're celebrating the second day of Kwanzaa.
Check.
It's really nice to have you guys here today, and yeah,
We are a part of Eternal Seeds. My name is Marley,
my name is Candace.
and today we'll be talking about our final project. Oh, um, well, I'm gonna let everybody get to their seats because I see them. Oh, Emily, hello. Okay, so what's the final? What we did? What's that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're explaining our final project. Ooh. See, he could have started off.
Yeah, they just got on the mic. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. How y'all doing? Y'all all right? With the music, come on around, because I know y'all used to seeing me in the back. What the music? So welcome. We're very, very proud of welcoming all y'all to Studio B. We're here to celebrate the second day of Kwanzaa. Habaragani. Wait, Habaragani. So when I say Habaragani, I'm asking you in Swahili, what is the news? And you are supposed to respond on today's principle. And today's principle, which is the second principle, is Kujichagulia. So I'm going to say Habaragani, and y'all going to say Kujichagulia. Welcome to Studio B. Welcome as we celebrate Kwanzaa. We're going to have a brief welcome from Brandon B. Mike Odoms. And then after that, we have a special presentation from our young people. So y'all give it up for Brandon B. Mike Odoms as he come all the way to the Kwanzaa stage at Studio B.
I'm DJing too. Here you go. Don't push no. Welcome everybody to Studio B. Day 2 of Kwanzaa. Step into the light, my bad. Year 8. Yesterday, for those who weren't here, Malik said it's been 8 years, but only 7 of them count, which I don't understand. New beginning in the 8. Okay, so we restarted. I feel that. Thank you. Wait, you didn't ask the elder if we could proceed. Oh, okay, so I get to go before that's I'm the elder then. All right, welcome everybody to Studio B. We're grateful that you all came out, and we're grateful that we are here with meaning and intention to come together as a community to reflect on the principles of Kwanzaa. We're grateful for young Baba Malik, who challenged us years ago to do this, and grateful for his work. No Nola Tours. I like to shout him out because he's not going to shout himself out, so shout him out. No Nola Tours. If you need a tour of the French Quarter, Treme, New Orleans, I'm sorry, don't specify. New Orleans, hit this brother up. If you know people who are going to be in town, hit him up, because it's the best way to see this city is through the lens of our rich history. And so we're grateful for the young folk who are going to be sharing today. We're grateful that all of you are here, all the vendors that are out there, introducing people into their great, beautiful work. And yeah, I'm just grateful to do this and be present. So thank you, Malik.
Thank you. Y'all give it up for B. Mike. And B. Mike was correct. In true West African tradition, before we start any program, we must ask our elders if we can proceed. So this beautiful young lady that looks way too young to be an elder, I'm going to ask you to be my prospective elder, and I'm going to ask you, can we please proceed with the Kwanzaa program?
So what would you like me to do?
All you got to do is give permission. You can say, yes, you may.
Yes, you may.
Oh, come on now. Thank you so much. So are we going to do the presentation with the young people? So we want to bring up some of our young people who have been working very hard on a project here at Studio B. Y'all give it up for them. Come on. Now, it's just going to be y'all two or the whole team going to come up? Everybody going to come up. Y'all come up. Come this way. Now, I know in past years, y'all used to me standing by. Come on, come this way, y'all. Come. Yeah. So, I'm going to give it to you because you already started, so.
Hello, I'm a part of the collective Eternal Seeds, and we are, what do we be like?
Imagination League.
Oh, Imagination League. We're gonna go with introducing people. So I'm gonna hand you the mic, and you're gonna say your name.
Yes. Come on. In your art medium, yes. Go ahead.
Oh, great, it's you. My name is Kaya, and I paint and do traditional visual arts.
Hi, Kaya.
My name is London Taylor, and I guess I do media arts and maybe like writing, so yeah.
My name is Milton, and I do painting and sketching. My name is Milton, and I do painting and sketching.
My name is Marley. I do traditional art, which is usually just black and white, but I'm expanding my palette, so I'm learning.
My name is Candace, and I do traditional and digital art.
Hi, Candace.
How y'all doing? My name is Jelani Smith. I'm a photographer and videographer.
How y'all doing? I'm history, multidisciplinary. I try to do everything, but I mainly do traditional drawing and painting.
Yeah, birthday boy. My name is Dante. I do painting and art.
My name Noah. I like to draw.
My name is Kingston. I do traditional art.
My name is Zaya, and I do traditional art.
My name is Layla, and I also do traditional art.
My name is Camden. I prefer to be called Ren, so please just call me that. I do traditional and media art. I'm an actor and a storyteller.
My name is Autumn. I draw and paint.
Give it up for these amazing young people. So, what have you amazing work young people been working on lately?
So outside we made a wheat paste. We also did a mural, and we also paint the benches that is like represent Kwanzaa and stuff. It was really like a good project, and it was really fun to like work with each other and stuff, and actually like get the meaning, like what we really want to like invoke in other people and stuff. So I enjoy like doing all the projects and stuff.
There's also wood cutouts along, so if you walk by, you could see different representations of what we think Kwanzaa is to us and how it brings our community together. Yeah, we just have wood cutouts. Oh, okay. Ooh.
Wait, my bad. No.
Also up here, maybe behind us, we have some little works that we did, like clay arts. And we did something involving, I think, indigo dyeing to get acclimated with Kwanzaa and everything that's back there. And we kind of quilted it together because we learned that quilting is a good part of emotion. Yes. And Kwanzaa as well. So yeah.
Oh. Anything else?
Um, sorry about that. Our group over here, we actually worked on some of the 3 benches outside. They all represent different things. The first one you'll see represents balance. The second one you see represents harvest and unity. And the third one you see also represents unity. So yeah, they did a great job.
How y'all doing? So, a group of us worked on the wheat paste outside. So basically what we did was we came up with an idea, which is the Last Supper, but we wanted to make it in a way that shows our people as holy and sacred. So we arranged a photo shoot with some models, and we pasted the picture onto the wall. It's depicting different black leaders as the 13 people who were at the Last Supper. So we just wanted to show our people that we can be sacred. Oh, I also wanted to say like a really big thank you to B Mike because he put all this together. Also a thank you to our leaders and all that, our teachers who are helping us so much with everything. Where Sierra and Moore, I don't know what Moore is, but Moore's back there. Thank you so much, Moore. And all that. All right.
Yeah, so me and Kaya, we worked on the mural. So my part, we wanted to represent unity in the mural, and watermelon has the Kwanzaa colors, black, green, and red. It was our first time using mostly spray paint, so it was kind of experimental, and it took us around 2 to 3 days to complete the mural. And so we wanted to show how can we represent unity, but also including the sliding door mechanism into the piece. So explain your side of the piece, like with the fish.
I wanted to include like the unity with like the natural environment of New Orleans because I think that's important as well, and our connection to the environment of New Orleans, and not just like our community as a whole. But I think the environment is also important in that. So that's part of my part of the mural, and also how the saying "first fruit." We added like fruits into the painting.
Yep.
So I want everybody to give it up for these amazing artists. They are already doing great work, putting wheat paste, mural, doing benches, and beautifying their community and beautifying their space. We want to give them so much. We're thankful for them. And after we finish the Kwanzaa program, please go outside to see and interact with their work. All of y'all work is very significant, and it connects with the principle Umoja, which is unity that y'all were painting on. So I'm very, very excited about all the work that y'all have done. Give it up for them once again. Give it up for them. Oh, hey, get in so y'all can take a picture. I don't know if Kevin's somewhere around. He has the camera. Brandon has his phone. Y'all get in the light. If you're not coming on this side, for some of y'all, you come on this side, my baby. You yeah. Well, Brandon, you want to get in the picture? Get in the picture. No, Brandon, get in the picture. Well, we take one of them and then get in the picture. Sierra, Mora, where are you? We also have chairs in the front for anybody who's standing. Brandon, get in the picture. All righty. Thank y'all. And Mora comes at the last minute. Yeah. Yes, Mora. Oh, I got the mic.
Wait. Where's Sierra and Mora? Come up right quick.
Sierra and Mora.
Y'all go sit down. We got to shout out these two amazing artists that led these young folk over the fall. Let's give it up for Sierra and Mora, amazing artists that led them on a journey of different mediums, different art styles, and different intentions around the art. So thank y'all so much for the work y'all put in. Thank y'all. Period.
Before Brandon goes away, we have one last artist to recognize.
Okay.
We have been doing Kwanzaa for 8 years in this space, and Brandon had the foresight to get a Kwanzaa Kanara built for us. So Brandon, can you talk a little bit about who built this beautiful Kanara
Yes.
here?
Okay. So this is created by Nelson, who's a great craftsperson and builder. And I sent him an image of a smaller Kanara, and I was like, yo, we need this large. In like 30 minutes, he sent me back a picture of this, and I was like, oh, okay, that boy good. So yeah, that's solid wood right there. He did a great job. So shout him out, and God willing, we'll be using this for 8 more years to come, Malik.
Ashe, give it up. So we have had permissions from our elders to start this Kwanzaa program. How many of you have participated in a Kwanzaa program? Raise your hand. How many of you have not ever participated in a Kwanzaa program? All right, it doesn't matter, we're all community. So we want to start our Kwanzaa program off with song. So everybody, come on. Anybody, any Imagination League want to come help me sing this song? We sing it every year. Everybody, Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa, celebrate Kwanzaa. Celebrate, celebrate Kwanzaa. Umoja, Umoja, celebrate Umoja. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate Umoja. Kujichagulia, Kujichagulia. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate Kwanzaa. Habaragani. So we are here celebrating Kwanzaa. For many of you, Kwanzaa is a very, very special time of the year. It is a time where we can come together and lift up 7 principles that is supposed to lift up the African American community. Now, in case you don't know about Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa is not a religious holiday. Kwanzaa is not a replacement for Christmas. So you can be Buddhist, full gospel, Southern Baptist. You can practice your religious belief and still practice Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is a cultural celebration where we lift up African and African American culture. Now, in Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa started in 1966 by Dr. Malana Karinga. Dr. Karinga, who is a scholar, studied holidays and gatherings and celebrations in continental Africa. He wanted to see the connections that Africans throughout, not only in the continent, but in diaspora, of how we get together and celebrate it. He noticed a custom of Africans gathering during the harvest, during the first fruit. Kwanzaa comes from the Swahili word of first fruits. Now, many of y'all, if you went to a full gospel church, you know what first fruit means, because some of y'all got to sow that seed on January the 1st. Your first fruit. So just like in harvest, they would gather their first fruit in celebration and giving it back to the land. So the word Kwanzaa with one A means first fruit, but the second A is the African American holiday in Kwanzaa. So Kwanzaa is a holiday that was created by African Americans. So if you go to continental Africa and they don't know exactly what Kwanzaa is, that's all right. But they would know the celebration of the harvest or of the first fruit. Now, Kwanzaa starts on December the 26th every year. It goes from December the 26th to January the 1st. One of the things that's important about this holiday is that even throughout our history, those days were very important times in African American history. Those were the times where work schedules were very relaxed. Those were the times that families gathered. Also, that was the time that you have a lot of rebellions. You have a lot of insurrections. You have a lot of revolutions during that time because they were allowed to gather during the holidays. So it is a time that we have always used to come together. Ooh, these lights kind of hot. It's sweating. I'm going to come down close and near to y'all in a second. So we come together and celebrate Kwanzaa. Like all holidays, Kwanzaa has its meanings. Everything in Kwanzaa has meanings. If you notice, the word Kwanzaa has 7 letters. There's 7 candles. There's 7 days. We have 7 symbols. So there's an alignment of 7 in Kwanzaa. Now, the first and most important thing is at the bottom, any Kwanzaa setup, at the bottom, can't see it, and I'm gonna come around, is a straw mat. That straw mat is called the mkeka, and the mkeka is a straw mat or something you put underneath your Kwanzaa setup. That straw mat represents our foundation, that we have a foundation, that we have a history, that we have a tradition. Many times we learn history as African Americans and even as Africans, and they do not tell us our history. So we have a history and we have a tradition, and that's why we have the mkeka to remind us that we have a history, that those histories of those great empires like Songhai and Mali and Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe built a structure that was greater than the structure in the Great Wall of China. Did y'all hear about that? The Africans are the ones who built the Egyptian civilizations. That the Ethiopians and the Kemetics were older than the Ethiopians, older than the Egyptians, and they taught the Egyptians their ways. So that's what the mkeka represents. Now, on top of the mkeka, you have what people will call a candle holder, what we will call the kanara. The kanara is our ancestral stalk, is our parent stalk. It is sitting on top of the mkeka. So our parent stock, our ancestors, are connecting us to our history and our tradition. Woo, Dr. Karinga was deep. So look at that, our ancestors, our grandparents, our great-grandparents are connecting us to our traditions. Some of y'all are artists. Your grandmama was an artist. Some of y'all like to dress up real good. Y'all like to buy the highest fashions. Your great-great-grandfather used to wear his Zeus suits in the 1920s. All of that is a connection. It is an ancestral connection, and all of us are living out some form of ancestral connection here along with us today. So not only do we have the kanara, but on top of the kanara, you have the 7 candles. Those 7 candles have a name, all right? So those 7 candles are called the Mashuma Samba. Mashuma Samba. Those 7 candles. Those 7 candles represents the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Now, the 7 principles of Kwanzaa together are called the Nguza Samba. So the Mashuma Samba are the physical candles. The Nguza Samba is the 7 principles. Umoja, Kujichagulia, Imani, Ujamaa. So the principles all together are called the Nguza Samba. So every day you will come on December the 26th and you will light a candle. You start off with the first candle, which is the black candle, and then you will go to a red candle, which is your closest left, and then you will go to the green candle, and then you will go to the next red candle and the next green candle until you have lit all candles 7 days of Kwanzaa. All right. Now, on your Kwanzaa altar or setup, you want to have vegetables, you want to have fruit. That's the crops. That is what it is? The mazal. What it is? Who? Mazal. So that is the mazal. That is the crops. So you want to have sweet potatoes. You want to have yams. You want to have okra. You want to have black-eyed peas. You want to have cabbage. You know, you want to have things that represent you and your ancestors and etc. Those are the things you want to put on your Kwanzaa setup, because remember, Kwanzaa is connected to the first fruit. So you want to have an abundance of fruits and vegetables on your Kwanzaa. And guess what? Unlike a very strict altar, if somebody needs something on the altar, or somebody hungry, give them an orange off the altar. Give them an apple. The altar is functional in African tradition. Now, you also have a unity cup, which we're going to use a little bit later. And the unity cup is the Ki Kombi Cha Umoja, the unity cup. It is used for libation. It is also used for ceremonial drink. So sometimes, people will sip a little wine and pass the cup. We're not going to do that, you know what I'm saying? COVID taught us better than that. But you can also use the unity cup for libation. So you can pour from the unity cup for libation. So we have the mat. We have the crops. We have the kanara. But also on every Kwanzaa setup, you have the mahindi. Now, what is mahindi? Mahindi is the ear of corn. Every Kwanzaa setup has an ear of corn. This corn is very important. So every child you have in your home should be represented by corn. If you have 2 children, you have 2 ear of corn. If you have 10 kids, you have 10 ear of corn. If you have 5 kids, you have 5 ears of corn. If you have no children in your household, if you're single, you will have 1 ear of corn. Because everyone's children is connected to community. So we all have a responsibility to the children and community. Now, each child is represented by ear of corn because the corn has kernels. See all those kernels? And those kernels represents an endless possibility of growth. It represents an endless possibility of future pursuits. It requires an endless possibility of future opportunities for these young people. So that's why the young people are represented by the mahindi or by the corn. And the last thing in a Kwanzaa setup is the zawadi. The zawadi is gifts. Now in Kwanzaa, is not a capitalistic or consumerism type celebration. But you can give gifts. Most gifts in the early years, they would come together and they would make each other gifts, or they would come together and they would give educational gifts, books, and etc. They will also come together and give books that you may need if you need something in community or etc. Now, the Zawadi is also focused on children. Children are the primary recipients of the gift giving. But it's a gift giving of commitment and responsibility. So let's say you and your parents get together and you say, you know what? I'm going to good grades and I'm going to take out trash the whole year. And you meet that commitment, your mother and father at the end of the year will give you Zawadi. Now, if you didn't do it, they can give you a Zawadi, and that Zawadi is an alarm clock to let you know when it's time to pick up the trash, go put the trash out, because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So a Zawadi is supposed to be a recipient of what you have done already and what you have done. So these are the principles of Kwanzaa, and that's why we have different Zawadis. Some things you can get from the Studio B gift shop that you can buy and support. Also, you want to support all of these great vendors that are out there selling things and et cetera, and we talk about cooperative economics. Now, before we continue on with the celebration, we have to definitely pour libation. See, the kids, they gone. They went and took a picture. So we're going to pour libation. Hold up. So we're going to pour libation. Libation is very important. Libation is not ancestral worship. You know, libation is honoring and understanding and knowing your connection to your past. Not forgetting your grandmother, not forgetting your great-grandmother, not forgetting your great-great-grandmother. Everybody I know in the world, they have some form of ancestral recognition. You go to Europe, they have family crests. A family crest ain't nothing but an ancestral recognition. You see statues of presidents and all of that. That is ancestral recognition. Them, the nation, and people saying, this is so important, we don't want to ever forget this. Black people are the only people, they tell us, don't remember your ancestors. Don't remember your grandfather. Don't remember your grandmother. But we are here because of our grandparents. So, in true Kwanzaa tradition, you want to always remember the ancestors, and you can pour water. You know, when we in our mother's womb, we're surrounded by water. Water is life. Waters always find themselves back to the river or to the lake. So we want to pour libation to the ancestors we don't know. We don't know their names. They were old, they were ancient, they were the first ancestors. So we pour libation for those ancestors who built cities, who built towns, whose names we would never recognize, but they decided to live, they decided to domesticate animals, they decided to build farms, they have towns and cities, and we know they lived because we're living, and we say amen or ashe to them. So we pour libation for those early peoples. We pour it in women, men and women. We pour libation for them developing cultures and art, for them developing ways that has passed down and continue to impact how we live. And we say ashe. We pour libation for those West Africans who were on the west side of Africa. Let's say the west side, the west side of the continent of Africa, west side. They was on the west coast of Africa, like the Bambara, the Yoruba, the Nord, the Kissi, the Mandingo, the people that were taken and brought to America, South America, the Caribbean, the Cuba. You know what? In 2026, let's stop this. Well, I'm Cubanos, well, I'm this, well, I'm that. We all black. Somebody dropped one of our cousins off in Haiti, then came to Louisiana. Same family. So we pour libation for those who were taken away from their homes, but when they got here, they made the choice to live and have a life and have a family, and we say ashe to them. Now we pour libation for all the things those Africans made. Them shotgun homes, them sweet potato pies, some of y'all had them for Christmas, them black eyed peas that you're gonna eat later on, them yams, that gumbo, all that stuff came from Africa. And they brought that with them. And they decided to make jazz and bounce music and R&B and rock and roll and boogie woogie. And we give all props to all of them for developing all that art and culture. And we say ashe to those ancestors. Now we pour libation, and this is something for our personal heroes and sheroes. Y'all learned about them, and I need y'all help. These are people in the history books that we know about, and y'all can call their names out, like Harriet Tubman. She's one of my favorite people. Ashe. Who else was like Mary McLeod Bethune? Who else? Come on, y'all. Frederick Douglass, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Honorable Marcus Garvey. Ashe. Martin Luther King. Ashe. Coretta Scott King. Ashe. W.E.B. Du Bois. Ashe. Ashe, Ashe. We pour libation for these people who sacrifice on our behalf. Ashe, Ashe. Now we can pour libation for our personal ancestors. Now this is where you got to understand. Everybody, we all got them. That's your grandparents, your great-grandparents. So we want to pour libations for them and celebrate them. So I have a recent ancestor. I'm going to pour libation for Clifton Falls, my god brother, Ashe. So what name are you going to call out? Okay, Julia Green, Ashe. Vince Bartholomew, Ashe. What grandparent? Now, all y'all got somebody that done going on. I don't hear nothing, even if you don't. Ashe. Ashe. Vince Bartholomew, Ashe. Ashe. Joseph Bartholomew, Ashe. Julia Green, Ashe. 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 Do y'all know do y'all know that in the Bible, in Matthew's, it starts off with a roll call of Jesus' ancestors? A roll call. And then my favorite scripture said we have a cloud of witnesses. Who in the cloud? Ancestors. Watching. Making sure that you all right. When Jesus had enough trouble, he was praying, he couldn't answer. You know who came down and ministered to Jesus? Moses and them. They said, yo, bro, you already knew the assignment. But he had to talk to his ancestors. So ancestral recognition is something that has always been here. So lastly, we want to pour libation for those who are on their way. That's them babies. And they inherit the world that we make for them. So many of us want to remain quiet and think the world going to change, but no, we change the world. So it is time that we be committed to a more just world, a more equitable world, a more loving world. So are we committed to making that world for these young people that are going to come afterwards? Yes. So Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. All right. We have poured libation. So we talked about the symbols of Kwanzaa. We also talked about the colors. Dr. Karinga studied, and the colors red, black, and green come from us from the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Of course, black for the people, red for our struggle or for our blood, green for our promise and our land and our future. So Dr. Karinga really understood the conferences. Like some things weren't new. He incorporated things that was before him and etc. Now, on yesterday, we all came together and we lifted up the principle of umoja, which is unity. So we lifted up unity and umoja, which is unity, and we wanted to always lift up that principle of unity, and we did the black candle. So I see one of my friends, they've been here a lot of times. Can you please come and light the black candle? Can you light the black candle? How you been? Good. All right, give it up for her. Come on now. How are you? How you been?
Good.
You been good this year?
Yes.
All right. Come this way. Well, no, you know what? Let's go this way because they have less cords and stuff this way. Now, you know how to use this one? You know how to use this? No? Okay. You take it and press this down. So, hold up. You got to hold your brother now. Come on. All right, I'm going to hold it. Yeah. All right, ready? Come on.
Which one?
The black candle. So, hold it and press it down. You have to hold it, press it. Ready? Ready? You want to hold it too? So, ready? Like the black candle. All right. And the black candle represents, say umoja.
Umoja.
You know umoja?
Umoja.
And that is unity.
Unity.
Say unity.
Unity.
All right, that means y'all two can't fight. Okay, that's what that means, unity. All right, give it up for 'em. All right. So we are here on the second day of Kwanzaa, and we have Kujichagulia, which is self-determination. And they got no more kids. See the kid. Where Kavara right? I don't see her. Where the baby at? She way over there looking. She was a painting. She was doing some finding her artwork. Kavara, come this way. Hey, how are you?
Good.
All right. So we're going to light this candle, and it'll go first the black candle, and then we light the red candle. And the red candle represents Kujichagulia. Can you say Kuji?
Kuji.
Chaka.
Chaka.
Leah.
Leah.
And that represents self-determination.
That represents
Say self.
self.
Determined.
Determined.
Nation.
Nation.
All right, come on. Give me. You ready? Okay, got it. Give it up for her. Did a great job. Now, don't be at your parents' new house talking about you playing with candles and with Kwanzaa, all right? All right, now, go ahead on now. Give it up for her. Now, we are here talking about self-determination. We have had umoja, which is unity, unifying ourselves, our family, our churches, being unified as a people. Yesterday, we talked about how unity is not necessarily always agreeing. Hold up. Unity is not necessarily agreeing. Unity is a mindset that even though we may disagree, we move forward without conflict. So making a choice that I choose not to be in conflict with my brother or sister, even though I may disagree. So now, on the second day, we have self-determination to define ourselves. You know, I have a sister here, and also, what does self-determination, defining oneself, defining your name, defining who you are, what does that mean to you? Anybody? Self-determination. Hey, friend, what's that? How you doing? You bought me something? Anyway, self-determination, what does that mean? Self-determination. So, yes, you can, and you can. That is self-determination. Yes, you will. What? Blazing your own path. Blazing your own path. Self-determination. Defining yourself. You know, for the young people who are here, self-determination is being you at all times. Because we live in a society where everybody want to be somebody else. They get it from social media. Everybody want to copy this person. Everybody want to be this rapper. Everybody want to look like this. But sometimes nobody wants to be themselves, determine themselves, define themselves. I am an artist, I'm a musician, and I do it like this, and nobody else do it the way I do it. So that's very important for us to make sure that our children understand that it's important that, you know, they know that they can be themselves. That they can be themselves. So one person I know that's always themselves is Shaddai Livingston. Shaddai. And Shaddai is gonna come up here, and me and her gonna have like a brief conversation about this principle of self-determination. Y'all give it up for Shaddai. B mic, where's the other mic? I got the mic, but you know, where's the other mic? Thank you so much, Elijah. Y'all give it up for painter, artist, poet, Elijah. Give it up for him. So, self-determination, and actually, you know, when we look up at Kwanzaa, I'm gonna give y'all Dr. Karinga's pad done froze up on me. Well, we know self-determination in Kwanzaa is about defining oneself. We have example of young sister Shaddai is actually an author. She's a cultural and a community worker. She's also the founder of the Louisiana Afro-Indigenous Society, where this organization puts on the annual Juneteenth Fest in New Orleans. Let's give it up for it. It's a big thing to put on the Juneteenth Fest every year in New Orleans. This young black woman put on the Juneteenth Fest by herself. One-man administration team. I'm talking about she go out, she get the funding, she get the vendors, she go out and pick the musical acts, she do the contracts, she talk to the city, she get the permits, she do the setup, she do everything with Juneteenth Fest, and it's free for community. It's free, free 99?
Free 99.
So that is definitely a tribute to being self-determined. But how you doing, Shaddai?
I'm wonderful, Malik. Thank you for having me. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for joining us to talk about. So, Shaddai, since I've known you, you have been a complete individual. Where did you get the strength of just being yourself and being who you are?
Well, first of all, thank you, Malik. I would say, where do I get the strength to just be myself? I would say, number one, I was raised to be truthful. I was raised by a Garveyite, two Garveyites. And one of the things that they would always, like, it was so many things growing up in my household where it was very strict, and it was like Class A felonies. A Class A felony would be me being in trouble for something, and when they ask me why I did it, I say, but so-and-so did it as well. Like, that is the quickest way to get your head knocked off. Like, my daddy did not play that. Like, I had a better chance of getting in trouble for leading trouble than for following. So there was always more serious consequences if I did a thing and I could not articulate the reason, or if I did a thing because someone else did it as well. It had to be my own reason, it had to be my own purpose. And so I think having that foundation and that grounding, and having that courage to be yourself, it just kind of stems from not knowing how to be anybody else, not really having room to explore how to be someone else, because my parents were just so adamant about, if you're going to do this, if you did this, I want to know why. And you cannot say it's because someone else. You cannot say, and I don't think it's fair as a child, because but that's what it was growing up.
So, a lot of times we tell our young people they can do anything, they can go anywhere. After graduating from college, you actually were self-determining. You left America. You lived overseas.
Yes.
How does that experience shape your perception of who you are as a international citizen versus, because you have lived outside of America and saw outside of what being American and what not being American means?
Gotcha. Yeah. So I would say, when I first left the country, I graduated from SUNO at 23, and then I moved to Dubai for grad school. And that was my first time on an airplane.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like my first time traveling. And I would say in a classroom of 75 people, only 3 of us were U.S. citizens, and only 2 of us were Black American citizens. The first thing I learned was a lot of culture shock, but I did learn that there is such a thing as American privilege. I didn't realize it. You don't really see it while you're here, but when you go to other countries, there's definitely an American privilege. It's also, that experience kind of got me to dive deep into defining myself. One of the reasons why I came up with the Afro-Indigenous Society is because I wanted to define myself for myself. I wanted to imagine a world where white supremacy is non-existent, and how would I define myself if I did not have to deal with that? I could say the term would not be Black. I wouldn't use a color. I would say Afro-Indigenous, because I'm aware that a large percentage of my ancestors came from somewhere in Africa, but due to the transatlantic slave trade, I don't have the privilege of knowing exactly where. Indigenous, because a large part of my ancestors were indigenous to this land, to the Americas, to New Orleans, to the music here. They were grounded here. So that's why I came up with the organization and that title, and a lot of that stemmed from my travels and my experiences, and just being forced to define myself, because even in those countries, you don't always necessarily relate to the Nigerians or to the students from Senegal. You don't, we can't really relate to them on certain things. They can say, I'm proud Senegalese, or a person from another part of the diaspora, like Haiti, they can say, I'm proudly Haitian, I'm proudly Jamaican, because that's where the ship dropped off most of our ancestors. They didn't drop most of them off up here, so that's why we're not a majority Black place. So yeah, but yeah, that was my question.
So with that answer, you have all of these new terminologies when it comes down to social media. Some people say that they are not African, that they are completely indigenous. Some people say that they are foundational Black Americans. So there's these new terminologies that young people are using to define their ethnicity. And I think that a lot of times we don't learn the difference between race and ethnicity.
Right.
So because ethnically, we 504 New Orleanians, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yes.
All day, every day.
9 nigga 9.
Yeah, so how do we, as in all of these different cultural and these identity crises, how do we find our way in trying to identify ourselves in a complete context?
So again, I think it would have to go back to, if you cannot see a world where oppression no longer exists, then that means you're not equipped to run it. You're not equipped to be a leader. You're not equipped to really call yourself a revolutionary. So I think it starts with actually seeing what it is that you want and how would you define yourself. So the next generation, if we're saying that my generation, generation before us fought for us to have these freedoms and, you know, eradicate oppression, then that means Afrofuturism looks like our next generation not having to deal with that.
Right.
So they don't have to really define themselves in the way that we did. And, you know, I know it's a whole lot of things with people not calling themselves black and, you know, you have Puerto Ricans and whatnot. But personally, I feel as though as an African American, I don't think we really have the right to tell people what their identity is or isn't.
Right.
Okay, so it just starts with seeing the world that it is that you want to start with seeing the world that you want to exist and actually walking in it and creating it. And from there, you can define yourself.
And you said two very important things. You said Afrofuturism and defining yourself beyond the white gaze or the white definitions.
Right.
Or beyond white
Yeah,
supremacy.
because, I mean, you know, a lot of people don't want to call themselves black. You got Dominicans that don't want to call themselves black, you know, Puerto Ricans. Well, they don't have to. They have the luxury of not having to define themselves as such. And we don't have really the right to force that upon them simply because we just got started calling black, what, like 50 years ago? Like every few generations our title changed. Like, are we expecting people to change? Like to put adopt whatever title was given to us, and no, because that's what it was. We didn't decide to call ourselves black. We didn't decide that. That was chosen for us because we live in a country where we're not the majority, and the people who run it wanted to remind us that we're not. So we're not just American. We have to say African American. We can't be proud of our country. We have to be proud of maybe like a sector of that country. So I got to be proud of being from New Orleans. So I think once we start, as we create these roles and these spaces for ourselves to flourish, to be leaders, we just have to understand that the next generation is not going to have to define themselves the way we did, and that was actually the goal. Like, we should be proud of them.
So we have talked about our definitions as ethnic and black and race, but also you're a woman, and you have just recently wrote a book.
I did.
So in this book, what are you describing or dealing with as a woman? Or it is a book for women or about women?
Yes, so this is actually a workbook journal. It's called From Workhorse to Woman.
So it's called From Workhorse
to Woman, a feminine tune-up. I'm actually down to my last 3, but it is available on Amazon if I run out today. So essentially, I wrote this workbook, and I dedicated it to my mother, and the intro was about my father. So, like I said earlier, being raised by a Garveyite, you know, the division in New Orleans was, I believe it was like 466 or something like that. Then after Katrina, we moved to Shreveport, and my father actually started Division 422 in Shreveport. Well, I got to see him in action, and I got to see that he never rested. So like now at 34, when people who knew my dad, it was like, oh, you Lil Kojo, you Kojo, you Lil Kojo, right? And I always have to I appreciate it and I accept it. And when I hear stories about how my dad touched people and how he, intervened in the midst of crisis in crisis situations, I always know that there's a cost. There was a cost to the family.
Right.
And I think a lot of times people don't realize that when it comes down to black activists and black advocates, you see Martin, you see Marcus, you see Malcolm, but what you don't see is the cost to the family. What you don't see is the trauma it may have caused Malcolm X's son, who ended up actually, Betty Shabazz ended up dying by the hands of a grandson in a house fire. So, but you don't see the mental toll or the cost or the broken promises because my dad is getting a call at midnight because so-and-so's son done robbed somebody and they don't have a man in their family to call. So they call Kojo. They call Kojo for everything. And so from that, I saw him tire himself out. Right. And he did not rest, he did not sleep, and ultimately, at the age of 58, He died of a random heart attack, no previous heart conditions, never ate pork, never smoked. I didn't grow up in a house of alcohol and drugs. So it was really, it was unfounded for him to just die of a heart attack. And my little brother, who was 14 at the time, was the person who found him.
Wow.
And
And they also said that when they did the autopsy on Martin Luther King, that his heart was aged considerably.
Right. Yeah.
He wasn't like, he had like a 60-year-old heart.
Right.
And he was a 30-year-old, something-year-old man.
Right, right. And so I wrote this book because although I am walking in the footsteps of greatness, I'm standing on the shoulders of greatness, I always have to find myself reminding people that I will not do things the way my father did it. I am not, as much as I love community, and much as I give to community, I have to give to myself first. I don't have I don't have children or a husband or anybody to break promises to, so I am responsible for keeping the promises to myself. I am responsible for setting boundaries for myself. So when I navigate community and how I show up, the reason why I'm able to produce Juneteenth by myself and pour so much, because it's only a reflection of what I pour to myself first.
So in pause, she said something very powerful. She said, I'm responsible for creating boundaries for myself.
Right, yes.
And that's very important because sometimes we live in a society that don't want you to put boundaries on how you and also I went to a Duran Bernard show and he was like the trauma happened. He said, but the healing is your responsibility.
Yes, the healing is your responsibility because the people that harmed you, they can't fix you. Like they don't have the tools or the capacity or probably even the interest. So when I say boundaries, I mean, I have to draw boundaries with everything, whether it's, I also have to have boundaries for myself. So there's certain things that I just won't do. There's certain places that I just won't go. Whether it's fasting or whatever, you have to have that discipline because you cannot have true liberation and true freedom without discipline. You cannot walk into your own self-determination and be authentic without some form of discipline, without some form of boundary. And so that's why I wrote the workbook, and it really just goes into various stress relief tactics for women. Men can use it as well, of course, but I did write it mainly for women because what I found is that, how can I put it?
I just said. Black
There's
women.
been a lot, black women.
women.
So there has been, over the past couple of years, like a lot of vitriol towards black women, right? However, what I can say is there's some accountability that we need to take, but because we did not create any rules in this society, we ain't made none of these rules, religions, social constructs, we are responders. And that's what people don't like. They don't like how we've chosen to react or respond. And I think within that, we've begun as black women to start to enforce some of the same white patriarchal or toxic patriarchal rules upon each other and upon ourselves, and we've started to adopt that and embody that like it's a badge of honor, as if it's a badge of honor not to take care of yourself, as if it's a badge of honor to say, oh, well, I got high blood pressure, I ain't had my toes done in 6 months. That's not a flex, and I think we have to get out of wearing the struggle because it's a slippery slope. Because you can't really say that you're about liberation and about revolution, about eradicating oppression, but you romanticize struggle at the same time. Right. It's a bit of a slippery slope. And one of the things I remember my mother telling me was, because she was the secretary of the UNIA, the University Negro Improvement Association, during my daddy's time as president. And after my daddy passed away, she still stayed on as a secretary, and they got a new president. And one of the things he said about the women, he said, well, y'all are the workhorses. He called like the women of the UNIA the workhorses. I'm sorry? The mules, yeah, like we're the mules. Like we carry everything. We're expected to do everything and be the doers instead of just being. And so I think when you have that pressure on you constantly, you forget you really forget to embody and step into the divine feminine and what that looks like, and begin to embody the traits of the oppressor. You become more manipulative, you become more aggressive, you become
Right.
all of these various things.
And before you say the divine feminine, and I can stand here not offended by her saying the divine feminine, because there's also the divine masculine. And both parties are needed to
Right.
balance
Right.
each other
Oh, yes.
and to create
Yes.
what needs to be created. So there is a divine feminine, but there's also the divine
Oh, yeah.
masculine that needs to be responsible as well.
Right.
Right. So in this new year, and this is going to be something I'm going to leave all y'all with, how would you redefine yourself to be your best self in 2026? In 2026, how do you want to redefine yourself to be your best self? Because that's going to be a question even I ask myself. In 2026, how can I redefine myself to be my best self? So,
Yeah, I think we were just talking about this, me and Erica, we were talking about branding ourselves. And so for me, I intend
I'm going to pause you on that. You say branding. Branding is an outside image.
Well, no, like,
It is an image,
it
but
is.
you're in your whole self, when you are by yourself, how do you become your best self?
I
Let's
have
tell
to
your
say
tr-
more boundaries.
Okay.
Yeah, boundaries. And to me, when I say boundaries, I don't mean, there's two sides of boundaries. The thing that you won't do, but there's also the thing that you will do. So there's certain things that I'm going to start really incorporating more in my practices, in my spiritual practices and everything. So yeah, I would say enforcing and more boundaries and having more discipline.
I share. Y'all give it up for Shaddai for coming here and talking. So thank
Y'all
you
give
so
it up
much.
for Malik,
She
my
said-
big brother.
She said she got 3 books, so we want her to be sold out. So she can be international sold out Shaddai with them 3 books. So please buy the 3 books, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Malik.
So before we close out, that question is for all of us, because we all have stuff to work on. We all have things to improve. How do we redefine ourselves to be our best self? What do we need to do in 2026? Do we need to study more? Do we need to exercise more? Do we need to go to grad school? Do we need to start that art project? Do we need to do that creative pursuit? Like, what do we need to do to be our best self? What do we need? And one of the things is, I started this question a couple of years ago, but I do know that we need to be intentional in how we support and love on young black boys and young black men. Because black men and black boys are lost and nobody is saying anything. And they need us more than ever before. And I say that not to negate black women, but black women always negate and protect each other. Y'all are natural when y'all come together in y'all sisterhood with y'all mamas and y'all sisters, and y'all got it because y'all have to. But when a black young man or a black boy is by himself, he's lost in the wilderness by trying to figure everything out by himself. And in community, he should not have to figure everything out by himself. So we need to work on that. So how do we reshape ourselves and reimagine and redefine ourselves in 2026? So that's a question for all of us. We're going to end this with our 7 Harambe's. In the black tradition, black folks always got to do a benediction, regardless of what they call it. Even at the second line, they got a form of a benediction. And in Kwanzaa, the benediction is the 7 Harambe's, where we're going to lift up our hands and we're going to bring down what we need for the new year and then the principle. And we're going to do this 7 times. And we're going to say the word Harambe. Now, on the 7th time, we're going to say Harambe as long and as loud as possible in celebrating of this principle. So I want everybody to stand up. Stand up. I need a counter. Brother, you're going to be my counter. I need you to 1, 2, 3, because I may miscount. I think the 5th Harambe is the last Harambe, all right? So we're going to do this. So we're going to put our hands up, everybody. And go 1, 2, 3, Harambe, 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 Harambe. 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 You see, I told you I was going to be. Thank y'all so much. We doing Kwanzaa. So the vendors will be here tomorrow as well. We have the Congo Square Drummers are coming on Sunday after church. So they'll be here at 3 o'clock, the Congo Square Drummers. We also have a day where we're going to be giving out toys and crafts to children. And we also have a closing ceremony on the last day. So please join us for the rest of the days of Kwanzaa. Thank y'all so much for coming. And I appreciate all of you. And the people who watch it online, thank y'all so much. And thank y'all so much. Habaragani, Kujichagulia, and happy Kwanzaa. Thank y'all. No, thank you, my sister.